So we are done. This is ready to go. Probably need to do a little bit more inking. Good morning, good morning. It's lovely Easter Saturday here in Canberra. It's a bit overcast, which is all right, I guess. Everything looks very green despite the fact we're moving into autumn. So today we are going to do the hidden note tag that is the freebie for the new Mossy Library kit that's just coming out on Ko-Fi, on my Ko-Fi. I'll walk you through this one. It's fairly straightforward, just a fun little project that you can add to your Mossy Library journal or to any other journal. First thing to do is cut it out. I've been going off camera to cut things out and then I haven't been coming back. So I kind of feel like I've been letting you guys down. So I'm going to actually just cut everything on camera. Let's just do this in one continuous go. And hopefully that means I can get you some video content a little bit faster and my ADHD won't derail things quite so quickly. I may just speed it up though, so that you don't have to sit and watch me cut out everything. Not that there's a lot for this one, but still. Alrighty, let's get cutting. Okay, so I've got everything cut out. You'll notice with my little tags, I haven't actually cut right to the edge. I'm going to glue those onto this backing paper. They'll go on the back. I could always print the backing paper onto here, but then all of this is going to get glued. So that's a lot of ink to do something all like that and then just to glue it and you don't see it. So what I tend to do these days is I do a backing sheet, then I glue everything on, cut it out. This actually gives it a little bit more thickness too, having two sheets there. And then that gives me something that's backed with my pretty backing paper. But I haven't wasted a whole lot of ink, and I can then obviously, that's going to only take up, that much space. Then I've got the rest I can use on something else. So that's how I kind of just conserve a little bit of ink. Things are getting more expensive these days. We don't want to waste ink if we don't need to. All right, so I'm back to, I've got my main piece. First thing I'm going to do is start to fold this up. So I'm just going to line all that up to get a crease down the middle. And that's going to be my tag. And then these guys come back this way. Fold those back. The other one back. Okay, so that gives me my tag. So then we've got our pockets. So what we need to do is cut up the fold line of these. Separate it out. Then we'll end up with with a little pocket on either side. Now, if you don't want these pockets, that's okay. You can just cut them off. And in fact, I don't think I'm wowed about that one there. It looks okay, like it's fine, but I might just, and by the time I get a little tag in, it's going to look just fine. But just to show you that these things are a little bit versatile, I'm going to cut that one off. And I'm just going to cut down. I've got a little bit of extra flap now. You'll notice with these that I've left a little bit of extra. There's a little bit of kind of a band across there. And that's just to give you a bit of folding paper to go over the end, because it won't all sort of match up properly if you don't have that, just that little bit of extra room. So when we cut that off, we've now got some extra here. We don't need that. You can cut that off now. So you don't have to do it this way. You can absolutely stick that one on there and that will look fantastic. I'm going to put one inside just for a bit of variety. So that one's going to go in there. I might put it on the back of there. It's going to go there. So I can start to glue these all down. And this just sort of backs itself, so you don't need to print on the back of these, which is good. There we go, that's that side done. Other side. So that's the bulk of my tag done. I'm just going to trim. There's a little bit of white showing at the top. I'm going to go through and trim all that. And you may get, with the paper folds here right on the edge, a little bit of white showing. Bit of ink will cover that up nicely. Okay, and then we're going to glue our pocket. Just putting a little bit of glue up the sides. I might just, that's a little bit of extra glue. So just make sure that it just stays very much on the side. Okay. My little front pocket. Where was I going to go? I was going to go in here, wasn't I? With this one. A little bit of glue as close as you can get to the edge for these guys. You don't want to lose any stuffing space. And then he's just going to go on there. That's my second pocket in. So I've got my tag. I can go ahead and put a hole in the top and put some ribbon in. That's it built pretty much. I'm going to just go through and snip these little white bits off. Don't need to see those. What about this side? It's a little bit here and a little bit across the top. Tidy those edges up. Okay, there we go. So that's my pocket constructed. Needs a little bit of inking, and particularly down the back, which I'll do. I'll get that done, and I can put a hole in the top Where's my hole punch gone? About there. So there we go, that's that constructed. So now we need to do these tags. So all I'm going to do with these is glue them back to back on here. Now, as you saw, I left a little bit of white around the edge of these, and that's just, I kind of just like a little bit of extra. So as I'm working through, I can just take that off, and it means that I get my glue kind of right to the, I'm cutting through the kind of where I'm putting the glue. You'll see what I mean. I don't think I'm making any sense. It just gives you a cleaner edge. You don't, if you sort of don't get the glue to the edge, you still end up with a clean cut, and then your little bits of ephemera don't come apart, which is, you know, a bit of a bonus really. Okay, so that's that one down, and this one, but you see what I mean when I and the outside. There we go. So they're my two little tags. Done and stuck. And then I'm just going to cut them sort of out with the big scissors, and then I'll just do the fine work around once I sort of got rid of the bulk of the paper. Just makes it a little bit easier to handle. You can kind of cut off the bulk of that paper. So I've got all this lovely design I can still use. Line that up. Come out, little piece of paper. Okay, that one done, and this one. Oops. That wasn't very exact. It's a good thing it's junk journaling and things don't have to be exact. Neaten that up a little bit. There we go. All right, so I've got my two little tags. I've got my tag to put them in, and we've got a little hidden note tag. There we go. So I might put that one in there. That one in there. And there is some writing space on the back if you want to write, and some writing space in the tag. So I might put some grommets at least on the front one, and put a bit of ribbon and do a bit of inking. And then that, my loves, is finished, and a little extra to go in our journal. So I'm all done. I've got my finished tag. I've put some, done some inking. My little one there. Put some ribbon on. Bit of lace on the top. Inside, I couldn't help myself, and I put a wax seal, one of my son's wax seals, and just the other little tag. So we are done. This is ready to go. Probably need to do a little bit more inking, don't I, down the side? Almost ready to go. into the Mossy Library journal. So Mossy Library is our April kit. We've put part 1 up already, which is covers, the character pages and the backing papers. So all these ones are up and ready to go. Next up, we'll be doing some writing papers that have some spaces for writing, and then we'll start with pockets and then move to ephemera. So this is our little freebie project, as I said, ready to go now. If you do like this video, please do like and subscribe so you can see what I get up to next. Thanks so much, folks. Bye.